Hey, this is Russell, and I work at the video store, the place that we can all go to every week when it's movie night. On days like today, when the store is quiet, I get to watch movies and series and talk about them with my friends that work here. All right, let's do it. Let's open up the shop.
Did you see that thing yesterday on the TV? It was ready, interesting!
How's it, guys?
Yeah, how's it? Yeah, how's it? What's
my,
up?
my motivated labor force. How are you guys? We've got Perrin today.
How's it, guys? How are you? I'm good.
I'm so glad that we have you to interact with customers.
Yeah, I just melt. I become a ball of sweat when people approach me.
How's it, Perrin?
I'm good, man.
This is your second week at the video store?
Yeah, it's great, man.
Are you fitting in?
I'm fitting in, man.
Are you digging it?
Got my buddy Cole here. Got my buddy Russ here.
Yeah,
Loving it. You know?
lekker, man. How are you, Cole?
I'm fine. I'm fantastic.
Hey.
Having a great day at the video store. Just did all the cleaning, so ready to get the day started and put on my customer face, which is different to my boss man face.
We last week had the opportunity to watch The Fall Guy. We all sort of watched it at the same time.
In different
And-
places.
Yeah,
in different places, which is lovely. I was able to watch it last week, Tuesday, which is a special screening that the distributors have for media, so that you can get an advanced chance to write about it. For me, I'm using it as a chance to check whether or not, whether it's the right movie for the bioscope.
Yeah.
I have seen it coming months away and really hoped and wished the best for it.
Yeah.
Because it just looked so good and fun. I've never wanted people to think of the bioscope as being solely an art house,
Yeah, for sure.
quite serious space. I want it to be fun. You know, we do quote-alongs and sing-alongs and dress-ups. And a movie like this, in however many years' time, would be a film we would do as a date night.
Yeah.
You know, because it actually
Absolutely.
is this date night film. So anyways, I watched it and was so happy that it was good.
Yeah, for sure. No,
So we then got this chance as the bioscope to host a special advanced screening on Thursday night for public to attend. And when we got given that opportunity, it was a bit last minute, but because it was the special treat,
yeah.
we thought we should make it a video store presents night, where as the video store we kind of take over and we host the screening at the bioscope, and it was a great success. So thank you for everyone who came.
Yeah.
Cole was there,
Yeah, I was there.
and that was your chance to then watch the movie.
Yeah.
Perrin, you were at
IMAX.
IMAX. Where? Mall of Africa.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was fun.
Lovely. So let's talk about it.
Yeah.
How great. How lovable.
It's so lovable. It's a great rom-com, you know. It's like it's a rom-com with like lots of cool action thrown in. And I mean, I love Daddy Gosling. Oh my God.
Oh,
Like,
Daddy
Yes.
Gosling.
Yeah. Ryan Gosling is one of my all-time movie crushes.
Yes.
Like, I've loved him.
So is that why you call him Daddy Gosling?
Yeah, I mean, and he's an actual daddy, you know.
Yeah.
No, totally.
I'm creeping out here, and I'm sorry that
No,
people
but
are weirded out.
what I could see coming months away and why
Yeah.
I was so excited was the fact that it was funny Gosling.
Yeah, Funny Gosling is so underrated as a comedic performer.
Yeah.
Like, he's getting his dues now in terms of comedy acting because of Barbie, obviously.
But
and
even as far back as, was it
The Nice
Nice
Guys,
Guys.
that's exactly, when you see him in that, his timing is impeccable.
because
Dude,
he's
so funny.
Because he's been the straight man.
Exactly, yeah.
That then him being funny and him just being a good actor makes it all the funnier. But I remember seeing articles of people that had done premieres or had seen these kind of early screenings of it. And the one that I loved the most was someone saying, it's actually a rom-com in disguise.
Yeah, 100%.
And when I heard that, then I was like, this is going to do so well at the bioscope.
Yeah, exactly.
It's perfect for us because that means it's going to have heart. Because of a film like Bullet Train, which was the director's previous film,
Yeah.
you could argue was perhaps a bit too convoluted, a bit too much action,
Yeah, for
but
sure.
too up its own kind of genre.
Yeah.
And
Its own genre.
and it didn't have the secret sauce. You
Yeah.
know, the
Yeah.
secret sauce is often like a
Chemistry.
painful,
The chemistry.
Yeah.
Oh,
beautiful
spot on.
human story,
Mm.
or just a lovable character. And in this case, the two secrets really were the fact that, as we said, it was this lovable romantic comedy, and the chemistry was amazing, but also the fact that the director, David Leitch,
Yes.
Leitch,
Yeah.
used to be a stunt coordinator.
Mm.
So he has this love and passion and respect
Yeah.
for the stunt community.
And
And
it
this is
shows,
a movie
yeah.
about a stuntman. Ryan Gosling, for those who don't know, plays a stuntman. Very early on gets in this accident that puts him out, and he's now called back in. And the person directing this film is his crush, this woman that he had a relationship with. And then right at the start of the film, it's discovered that the main actor of this movie, which you could kind of liken to almost like a Tom Cruise-y
Yeah.
kind of leading man,
Yeah.
has gone missing. And he doesn't want his crush, who's now manning this big film for the first time, he doesn't want her film to fail. And so he's being roped in to help find the
Yeah.
guy. There's so much more to it.
Yeah.
There's so much more to it.
And I actually, without giving too much away, I love the fact that it actually wasn't an obvious twist.
It wasn't an
Yeah.
obvious twist.
And so that made it smart. But at the core of it, it was all about the making of this movie.
Mm.
And so it's a homage, it's a lovely ode to the magic of movie making.
Yeah, exactly.
Done by a guy who knows and understands
Yeah.
what it's really like to be on a film set, to really be a stunt guy. And that's what makes this such a lovable movie.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, the Fall Guy, it's in cinemas now, including the Bioscope. I really hope it works. It should work.
And if you're
Oh,
a Kiss fan, you have to come watch it.
Okay, so then the soundtrack was amazing, and I saw in your Letterboxd review, Cole, you were like, what did you say?
I said any film that centers its entire score around a Kiss song has my vote. Because they took I Was Made for Loving You and worked it into the orchestral soundtrack. So in more serious moments, you can hear the melody or the guitar line and trumpets. And then also there's this really somber, serious cover of I Was Made for Loving You that I've never heard before. And they have the original Kiss version. But that version was gorgeous. And it underpinned a really serious moments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, like almost a tearjerker, hilariously funny.
Yeah, there's like so many like Gosling, like their chemistry is phenomenal, and
unreal.
Emily Blunt is also just delightful in pretty much everything.
Yes.
But like Ryan Gosling, man, like even there's a scene where he's crying in the car listening to Taylor Swift.
I love that
And like he's he's just so good. And I know I'm like gushing over Ryan Gosling, but like
No, gush away,
the man
man.
is a proper movie star, man.
Absolutely.
He's got so much range. He can do anything, man, and he has fun. Like that's what I love about the movies. You can see that everyone had genuine fun on it, and there was so many cool little like references to all their careers, like Winston Duke, the stunt coordinator. It was like a little reference to Black Panther when he's like rallying all the other stunt guys.
Oh, that's true.
When
yeah.
he says Ibambe in Black Panther, and then he says something later.
Yeah, like it's so cool.
And like the little nods to movies, like getting the tomahawk from Last of the
Yes,
Mohicans.
and yeah, there's a fun
that's
like the cool thing about the movie is it's because I have a soft spot for movies about making movies.
Yeah.
And I love movies where people talk about movies as well. So like in this movie, there's cool, fun little moments where the stunt coordinator played by Winston Duke and Ryan Gosling, Winston Duke will say like words of wisdom to Ryan Gosling. And then like Ryan Gosling's like, oh, that's from Lost of the Mohicans. And he's like,
Yeah.
and they freak out. And
They've got a little in-joke that
it's
they'll
sick.
quiz each other on these movie quotes in these moments.
It's such a fun movie. And like what I appreciate about the movie as well is the closing credits, like, because staying for the credits is like not everyone does it, obviously. Like sometimes you do it because you like the music that's playing or you want to see your friend's name or...
We all did it for Marvel.
Yeah, exactly. Marvel effectively changed the way people watch credits because they're always like, oh, will there be a post-credit scene? And the cool thing about this movie is that
Monsters.
yeah, like they monsters. You ruined cinema.
Yeah.
No, what I liked about the credits of the Fall Guys, they gave you incentive to really stay till the end. They showed you like BTS of like all the crazy stunts they do.
That's lingo for behind the scenes.
Yeah, sorry. But like
No,
yeah,
and you
so
saw
cool.
that like it looked like Ryan Gosling actually did some of the stuff. He obviously didn't do all of it because some of it
Yeah.
was so crazy. But yeah, there was a stunt guy for the guy who was playing a stunt guy.
Yeah.
Of an actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and there was,
Great,
someone should also look out for little moments, not giving much away. But the movie that they're making is this big sci-fi.
like corny.
But it's so funny. It's like cowboys.
Yeah.
Cowboys in space.
Metal Storm, I think it's called.
But just the
Mental
cowboys in space was so great. But, the grading is graded like June 2.
Yeah.
It's this like deep orange grade.
Like a musical
And then,
cues to
and then
it,
the
yeah.
musical cues are very similar. It's very smart. But
I absolutely want to watch a heavy metal space opera that's actually heavy metal.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the whole point.
So the movie that they're making is a film called Metal Storm
In the Metallica fonts.
in the Metallica font. Yeah.
And then the trailer uses the Iron Maiden fonts.
yeah.
It's
Or
just
they're
like,
just bamboozling you.
Oh, it's lovely.
So much fun.
What else? I've got a. Speaking of heartwarming, because this film was heartwarming. It was a comfy blanket. Fall Guy. Another one that I really loved is a film that's been out on Netflix for a little while called "Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret."
No, Are You There, God? It's Margaret.
Yeah,
Are you there, God?
Yeah.
It's Margaret.
Yeah, it's so
it's Me,
lovely.
Margaret, isn't it?
I think it's Are You There, God? It's Margaret.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
Cole, roll it up.
It's lovable. It's
Oh, it's so good, man.
it's a famous book.
It's me.
It's Me,
Oh,
Margaret.
okay.
Yeah.
I stand corrected. I'm sorry.
And it's set in
70s?
70s, which I think is perhaps when that book came out.
Yeah.
It was written by Judy Blume, who's like a very famous author for young female fiction.
Yeah.
And it's this real coming of age about a young girl sort of on the cusp of her sort of like womanhood, adolescence.
For sure.
And it's just what I loved so much about it is like you can make this argument that kids these days and society and how things are changing and how things are so radically different for a kid today, a 13-year-old.
Yeah.
Because like my niece right now is this age. She's
Yeah.
like 13, 14.
Yeah.
But then you watch this movie of a story set in the 70s and you're like, so much will, never change.
Exactly.
It's timeless.
Yeah.
Perhaps the three of us males are not necessarily the right guys to talk about this, but it's the time of when like a girl gets her period for the first
for
time,
sure.
and it's like that is significant in any generation,
Yeah.
any era. It's huge. Like
Yeah.
I can understand that a woman's life has kind of never changed. Will never be the same again. And it's just lovely. Hey, you've seen it.
I loved it. It was one of my favorite movies of last year. And it's just so delightful because what I like about it's interesting that you say that like, we're three male guys. Like there shouldn't be a lot for us to resonate with it.
Yeah,
But
so that's a good point.
It's so like relevant regardless of what gender you are or what color you are or what, religion you are. Because the movie's also not just about
It's also about religion. It's about her
Exactly.
trying to figure out. So
where she fits in. Yeah.
it's quite a simple story, Cole. You haven't
Yeah?
seen it.
No,
huh?
I haven't.
So it's literally just about this girl who is coming of age. So over the course of the movie, it's about her getting her period. It's about her having to kind of pick her religion or understand religion.
Yeah.
Because you get the sense that her mom, played by Rachel McAdams,
Oh,
came from a very strong Christian household. Her
Yeah.
dad is Jewish.
Benny Safdie, actually.
Yeah.
oh wow.
Yeah.
Of the
Good
Safdie
cast.
brothers
Yeah.
who
Great cast.
and you get the sense that her grandparents on her mom's side, who were the Christians, kind of disowned the fact that this marriage happened.
Yeah.
And then the on the dad's side is the grandmother who she loves.
Yeah. And
who's
it's
very Jewish, who's played by
Misery.
Kathy Bates.
Yeah,
Kathy Bates.
she's wonderful.
Oh my goodness, what a cast!
So she's
Dude,
the
it's
sort
a
of
great
cool.
cast.
She's the cool grad.
Yeah.
And so a part of it, and this was, I guess, important in the 70s. So perhaps this is what shows the difference. Was like religion was important, right?
Yeah.
Because in the 80s and 90s, we fought wars over religion. Like
Yeah.
now, we don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is perhaps a good thing.
Yeah.
Some of the worst atrocities in history were over
Religion.
religions.
Yeah, exactly.
And so perhaps that's a good thing that there's one less thing to divide us.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a lovable film. I can't recommend it enough. And
Yeah.
it's a great lazy weekend film.
And
You
it's
know.
it's just heartwarming. Like it's just it's a great little movie because it also reminds you of what it was like being a teenager.
Yes.
Like or about to become a teenager.
Yeah, and that fucking anxiety over it.
yeah.
So that actually made me realize like the nice appetizing version of this adolescent time told through the perspective of a female is this movie.
Yeah.
Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret.
Yeah.
Which is a reference to her
praying, yeah.
praying. The art house, but fucking amazing version of the same story is a film that myself and Cole watched in lockdown called 8th Grade.
8th Grade is phenomenal. Bo Burnham.
Bo Burnham's film.
So good.
It's
Yeah.
like
the soundtrack.
Jesus
Oh my God.
Christ.
Yeah.
So these two films, if anyone is like a parent with your kid, like even if they're young, but
Yeah.
approaching this age,
Yeah.
it's like it should be subscribed watching.
Yeah.
So that you can, at whatever age you're having a kid, you can remember and just go back to what it felt like to be that, where like a pool party
Yeah.
in 8th grade is like this almost this like nightmare.
Yeah.
And
You want to impress the boy you like, and you don't want to
But
swim
just-
with the girls.
but
and
just
yeah.
the anxiety, but just the anxiety
Yeah.
of her. So 8th grade is also just this coming of age story about a young girl who's very much in the new era. So it's all about like a lot of the scenes are her filming like TikToks.
Yeah.
So it's very aware of its current world, and it's about her going into middle school.
Yeah.
But just there are these scenes where like she gets invited to a pool party.
Yeah.
And just the nerves of her leaving the bathroom in her swimming costume to get to the pool, which for us is innocuous, right? We would just sort of jump in the pool.
Yeah.
But for this young girl, it's like it plays out like this kind of anxiety-ridden. Oh, it's done so well, and the director Bo Burnham
Yeah. Great.
is
comedian.
this,
Yeah.
is a comedian. So it's amazing that he produced that super smart, like
And sincere.
so sincere and in
Yeah.
tune film. 8th Grade was available on some streaming platforms. I don't
was
think
on
it's
Netflix at some
it
point.
was. I don't think it's there anymore. But Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret is just such a lovely
Yeah.
thing. And so that's more of a female film, like with the
Yeah,
mom
yeah.
as Rachel McAdams, and how you can help your daughter. Another one which I loved, which is more the dad's relationship with the daughter.
Yeah, I love that as
Is the animated film that Netflix did with the
well.
fuck.
The Charlie Kaufman.
No. It's like it was presented like a fun family comedy. It's about the road trip of the family with the aliens.
Are you there? Are you there? God,
yes.
it's me, Margaret. No, it's Meet the Mitchells.
Yes,
Meet-
that was fun as
Meet
well.
the
Animation was
Mitchells.
so cool. Yeah.
Meet the Mitchells was so good.
Yeah.
And it
That,
was
that
so-
came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
That came out of nowhere. Yeah, you at the premise, it's all about like aliens are invading,
Yeah.
and this is a family on a road trip.
Yeah.
But at its heart, it's the secret sauce. It's
Oh,
what
yeah.
I'm.
It's not called Meet the Mitchells. We're a bad video store. It's the Mitchells versus the Machines.
That's it.
Unless it has an alternative title
no,
in
no,
some
no.
reason.
No, sorry. Okay, it's Mitchell's versus the Machines. I like this three-way. One guy googling.
Three ways are always great.
Jamie, pull it up. You know?
Mitchell's versus the Machines is
Yeah.
also just a film that has got so much heart because it's about the dad holding this family together while this, there's
Invasion happens. Yeah.
there's an invasion happening, but it's more about him trying to craft a relationship with his daughter.
Yeah, totally. Great companion film for Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret is Judy Bloom Forever. It's on Amazon Prime, and it's a documentary about the author.
Okay.
And it shows how important she is to so many kids, not just in the 70s, but now as well. Like how the book has like not aged a day because it's so relevant. I mean, it's about growing up. It's about like I mean, one of the things I loved about the movie is that she's also praying because she's begging for her puberty to arrive, because all her friends are getting their puberties. They're getting puberty first, you know, before her. So she's like dying for it, and like that's one aspect. Like I remember as a kid where like your friend has hairy armpits now, and you're like, fuck, like
you notice that you don't have.
I definitely don't have, and
I was always the guy who had it first.
Yeah,
and then that made me feel self-conscious.
Yeah, you see, like that's what like the movie is so good at doing, that is that it shows both sides of that. Like,
wild.
Like because for her to get puberty means she can finally be normal. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
right.
You have to remember as a parent that that kid like just wants to fit in, and that's why
exactly.
when you people watching and you see a group of kids that are like teenagers, they're all wearing the same shoes, they're all wearing the same thing, they look like clones.
Yeah,
because it's like everyone is just so desperately wanting to not be different.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I remember once, well, in the noughties, do you remember those? Well, I'm kind of got a pair on now, but we had really oversized shoes.
So like the Spice Girl, you know, those
like
those
big
platforms,
kind of like platforms for the boys,
They're
but
like
they were
chunky
like
shoes.
wide, cheeky
like
shoes.
Osiris shoes, like the skateboarding shoes.
You're talking about
Yes.
skateboarding
Yeah.
shoes. Yeah.
Yes, and I remember my dad and I were just walking around, and we got a pair, and I was like, I think I want to get one of these shoes because I've seen everyone wearing them. And then I got home, my mother was like, "You are not wearing those." And I'm like, "Why?" It's like, "Because you're just wearing that to fit in with everyone else. That's the only reason. That's not you."
Yeah.
Oh, Michelle.
And I was like, "Fine, you're right."
I just love the fact that that was all the rage in skateboarding, and it inspired that dress culture.
Yeah.
Mostly exacerbated by bands like Blink-182,
Yeah,
which sort of
yeah.
dress in skateboarding
Linkin
clothes.
Park and
But they were these big shoes that the thought was you needed padding because you were skateboarding,
Yeah.
and so you needed these like big, almost like
chunky
fucking
shoes.
clown-looking shoes. But then we're at this point now with skateboarding where they've gone back to like very thin, like Vans shoes that don't have any of that padding because you skateboard better with it.
Converse. Yeah, no, exactly.
It's interesting that there was that time of like chunky big shoes. I remember that.
What a weird era, hey.
I know. It's
Early
so
2000s,
strange.
late 90s, so weird.
I had a very strange thought, which I think you two of all people would appreciate. Any film made in the like early part of cell phones is unfortunately completely dated now, right? So like in My Best Friend's Wedding, Julia Roberts is at the table. She's got this little clutch bag.
Yeah.
She opens it, and the whole clutch is what's housing the big fucking Motorola phone that she takes out. Like, there's no space for
pulls the
anything
aerial
out.
out.
You got to pull the aerial out, flap open the thing that had no technology in the flap.
Yeah.
So there was no point in the flap.
Just protect the buttons or something.
Perhaps.
exactly.
But you're like, this immediately dates it, right?
Yeah.
Which I guess is cool.
It's like the Kelly Rowland music video with XL as
Where
the
she,
nations are.
she pulls out XL and
responds to them, and everyone's like, no wonder he's not replying. He's sending him a message on XL.
yeah, it's so funny. But since the iPhone, the normal, the last 7 or 8 versions of an iPhone look pretty much the same.
Yeah, they do.
And so,
Glass.
those films will never be dated because they just look like
They
iPhones.
just all have that Black Mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talking about the iPhone, like
Sorry,
changing things.
Just a weird thought.
No, getting into anthropology. It's great. Talking about...
This is anthropology.
It is. Yeah, dude. Films are... Art is life. Life is art. Talking about the iPhone changing things.
Yes.
Yeah. We got wisdom here at the video store. Is how disappointing the film Blackberry was.
I loved.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was great.
I love the story. Like, the story is interesting. The idea that you can be at a party and say, this is what happened to Blackberry.
Yeah.
But the characters and the story of it.
Really?
Joe Bernthal? What's the lead actors?
Burachel. I think it's... Oh.
The guy,
Jamie,
guy that
Google that
plays-
for us. I'll do it now.
Cole, call it up. No, the main, one of the main dudes in the Blackberry film was one of the guys from It's Always Sunny in
Yeah,
Philadelphia.
He played an arsehole.
Yeah, he played the CEO. Yeah,
He
I thought
played
was
like
so
the
good
Justin
in that.
Timberlake of the social network,
yeah.
Yeah,
basically.
but like way angrier.
There's been
Jay Baruchel.
There we go.
Yeah, Jay Baruchel.
I've heard it being pronounced Jay Baruchel.
Okay, we all.
Wow.
I said Burachel.
Wait, he's the skinny guy from Knocked Up.
Yeah,
and
he was
all
in
of
This
those-
Is the
the
End
voice of
as
Hiccup.
well. Yeah.
and he was also very good in She's Out of Your League, or She's.
Can't remember, man.
He led a romantic comedy where he dated like a very attractive woman, and it was all about her being too good for him.
Oh yeah. He seems like one of those actors from that era. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He was in This Is the End as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's lovely.
No, he's cool.
I made the mistake of watching that movie High.
This Is the End.
Yeah, for the first time. My
so
friend
good.
was like, dude, let's get high and watch. Yeah, and watch this at the end. Let's watch this at the end. And then I was just like, it felt so long. And you're just watching Jonah Hill get raped by a demon. It's like, this is the longest scene in the world.
Yeah.
No, that was very fun.
It was a great
And
movie.
Emma Watson being like a crazy badass, and Michael
Yeah.
Cera being like a creepy dude who
Yeah.
like smacks Rihanna's bum. And
And Channing Tatum is like a gimp at the,
The
end of
gimp,
it. Yeah. Yeah. Remember that?
no, it is a good film.
Yeah.
I've got a solid recommendation for a very easy to digest TV show. Sometimes we don't want anything too dark or complicated or intricate, but also at the same time you don't want something that's too meltingly stupid.
Yeah.
On Disney Plus is a show called Tracker.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the dude who is the main guy is the handsome dude from This Is Us. Did you ever
Oh
watch
yes,
This Is
yeah,
Us?
yeah. The
Well, he's
dad.
got a
The
jawline.
dad, right?
The guy who was the famous movie star, like the famous guy from
I
This Is
never watched
Us.
This Is Us. Okay, cool. Yeah.
So he's a very handsome man, and
Look at his jawline. That is ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
and the premise of the show is that he's like effectively a bounty hunter, but he's more like he looks for missing people.
Okay.
So people will pay a reward for someone,
Yeah.
but it's the good kind. It's not like he would help a family like find their missing son. Maybe the son's got caught up in something, or maybe the kid got kidnapped,
Yeah.
or or someone went camping and they got lost. And so each episode is a different story of him, and he travels the country in his truck, in his caravan, so to speak, and lots of heart.
Cool, man.
Lots of heart.
How many episodes are up?
It's sort of like 6 or 7.
It's like new, hey? Like
Yeah,
brand
it's a new show,
Sick, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just one of those like, this is nice. This is good.
Like there's sometimes like last night when you go back from like dinner, we wanted to like just put something casual on.
Yeah.
Like sometimes because like sometimes I don't want overly serious movies or like
Of
overly
course,
serious
no.
series. Like I want to put on the Say I Do's of the world, you know?
Yes. Have you watched
Call
Say I
back.
Do?
Yeah.
Have you watched it since I said?
Not yet. We're waiting for the optimal time to cry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, like I love a good show where you can just put it on. It's nice. You're invested, but like you're not.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it sounds like a good
Yeah.
like viewing experience. So
Yeah,
yeah, I'll
it's
definitely
exactly
check it
that.
out. Mm.
Yeah, lovely, man. Is
Talking
it-
about very unserious movies, have you heard that there's going to be a Naked Gun reboot?
With Liam Neeson.
Yes.
Yeah,
is he still alive?
they doing
What?
that.
Of course Liam Neeson's
Yeah.
still alive. Come on.
You just
Sorry.
You're thinking of Leslie
yeah,
Nielsen.
Leslie Nielsen.
Leslie
yeah.
Nielsen.
So yeah, they also rebooting Scary Movie. They're doing
Really?
Scary Movie 6, and the thing is like. I'm probably going to be in the minority here, or like amongst our listeners or whatever. But I never found Scary Movie good
Same.
or
No,
funny.
No, that is the majority,
The
I'm
best,
afraid.
the best spoof movie, because the early 2000s spoof era was terrible in my opinion. Late 90s, like
Not Another Teen Movie was the one that kind
that's
of
the
like
only
kicked
one
it
I
off.
loved. That
Yeah,
one
that
was
was
like
a good
really
one
funny.
because it was
yeah.
the first one.
Yeah, and then I think and then but like the spoof movies of the Leslie Nielsen era, like
Yes.
A Naked Gun, Clear and
Spy
Present
Hard.
Day, yeah, Spy Hard, Clear and Present Danger. What was the other
Dracula Dead and Loving It.
one? Love Dracula, Dead and Loving It, and like I mean, of course, Airplane
I was
in the
about to say
70s,
Airplane, yeah.
But like, I'm interested to see how they're going to do spoof movies now. You know
In
what I
an
mean?
era where like being meta has become really popular
Yeah.
and overdone.
Yeah, so like I'll be interesting because I mean that early 2000s era of those kinds of comedies weren't particularly funny to me.
No.
It was all just
Yeah.
I love a good fart joke and you know,
Yeah.
but like those ones just we're very immature, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I mean, this new scary movie, I think they're just going to spoof A24 movies. It's just going to be non-stop. Midsummer, Hereditary, all these movies, you know.
Okay, that could be interesting.
Yeah.
Can I do some shameless self-promotion?
Yes.
Every year on Star Wars Day, May the 4th, we screen Spaceballs.
Yes. Sick.
Which I've never seen.
Which is also one of the like original parody films. This was from like the
So,
80s.
It's jammed. Raspberry jam.
Yeah. I've seen it, but I can't remember all the jokes.
They're combing the sands. They actually got a giant comb and they're combing the
Oh
sands.
my god.
Yeah. No, it is silly.
We used to rent that on video as a kid so often.
Yeah.
Yeah, Spaceballs.
Yeah.
Fault. Be there.
And we are doing a re-release of episode 1.
Oh,
so
cool.
episode 1 is celebrating 25 years,
Ugh.
and it's going back into cinemas, and we're one of the cinemas that's going to host it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Be there. Be there.
I remember I was I think I just started high school
Oh wow.
when episode 1 came out, and and it was an experience to watch in cinema. It was amazing to see that underwater world and
yeah.
just seeing the size of it. It was
They're called the Gungans.
yeah. Excuse me.
They're called the Gungans on the planet of Naboo. No, like
To me that was the movie.
was that 1999 or 2000 for us?
1999.
1999.
I remember like it was a big deal because I
The
remember.
delays were so huge.
Yes.
Oh,
They were
it
like
only
6
came,
months.
It only
Yeah.
came to South Africa in 2000.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure because so my good buddy had come to Joburg, and I was now in high school, and I was introducing him to my high school friends
Yeah.
that I just made, and
Okay.
we all went to watch Star Wars together.
Yeah.
So like I know it was the start.
25th of June 1999.
Yeah, but for us.
We
Yeah, South
got
Africa.
Oh, really? Okay, that's crazy.
That's what Google says.
Yo, I don't remember because I
no.
distinctly remember being in the 3rd grade when they came out.
No,
Like,
by the time we
yeah.
that's I think you seeing the international release date.
It says South Africa.
No, I know, but I think you're wrong.
Yeah.
First fight.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It only made $209,000 in South Africa.
Wow. But
Okay,
you know
so
what- yeah.
so Cole's information clearly is
Yeah.
is wrong.
So, but like the big deal for me as well, because I mean, you obviously, I don't know when you got into Star Wars. Like, it was like the early 90s.
That was no,
or-
that was probably the start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew it was the the sequels.
Yeah.
Maybe
Prequels,
prequels.
Yeah.
Sorry. Maybe I'd seen them, but I think I only got into it later.
Yeah, for me, I don't know, Cole. I feel like Cole's got a similar journey, but like, I remember seeing the re-releases.
Of 97.
97 with the weird special effects added in and the
Yeah.
weird scenes with Jabba.
Which is the version I know.
Yeah, exactly, and that's sad. Like,
Yeah.
because like I remember we watched those when they came out because I think they released them periodically, one every year or something.
Yeah, it was something like
Yeah,
that.
and I remember we got the VHS tapes and we like watched them obsessively, and then of course 2 years later, episode 1 is coming out. We're like, what is happening? This is crazy. Let's go do this.
Yes.
And yeah, blew our minds, man.
I remember going to see Empire, but that was 97, so I would have been 6. And I felt like I don't know, I missed it. Like,
Yeah,
I have a blurred vision of it, but
yeah,
it didn't
Perhaps
catch
the,
me there.
yeah.
It was episode 1 that made me go apeshit, and I'm pretty sure
Pod
it's
racing
still...
scenes.
Oh, yeah.
But I
I'm
think
pretty sure it's still the film I've watched most of my life. Like,
Really?
over 100 times.
it was also smart that you had this main character that was a young guy.
Yeah.
So that a lot of young kids
I mean,
were
let's
like,
not
I
use the
can-
word smart to describe the Phantom Menace.
No, well, I'm saying it's the one thing that was smart. But I've realized that I've opened up a can of worms, which I would like to close now.
Yeah, close it.
Because I know that
We're not gonna
if,
stop.
if left alone,
I'm
like,
going to show you how well I can quote that movie.
I'm gonna come back like next week, and Cole's still gonna be talking about
liking these. No, it's terrible.
lack of my guys. Is there anything else any one of us are dying to talk about? Because otherwise, I think we need
I
to.
think for the
close
last
up
2
for the
weeks,
day.
I've wanted to talk about Three Body Problem on Netflix.
Okay, we have brought it up. Can we talk a bit more about it?
Okay, cool. I didn't know I can't remember us bringing it up.
You brought it up.
My memory is so bad, dude. I'm sorry.
Are you sticking with it?
I finished it.
Okay,
I
it's
binged
finished.
it.
I think you'd mentioned this.
Yeah, and I haven't binged something in a while.
Did you enjoy it?
And I was hooked from the beginning. A lot of people say they aren't hooked by it. They're not like getting it because it's very like it's too large of a concept in terms of science. But I enjoy stuff that's about metaphysics and quantum physics and the discrepancies. And
I think it's a very smart show in that regard.
yes,
Yeah.
and it does start to become a bit convoluted, but they get into like the conspiracy theory thriller side of it really quickly, which is great. The cast is amazing. But basically, do you know what the premise is?
Yes.
We did discuss
We
this
have
last
we
time.
have spoken about this. Is
Okay,
coming back
cool.
to you now, but
Okay.
but yeah, it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
3-body problem. It's the guys behind Game of Thrones. This is their next foray into cinema.
Yeah, it's
well,
part of their
into
Netflix
TV.
deal.
I've read the book.
Oh, really?
I'm about to start the third book.
Oh,
Yeah.
no ways.
So I like the. It's interesting that you say not a lot of people were hooked because the first book, like, I love the concept. It's so cool.
Yes.
Like the whole idea, and it's hardcore sci-fi, like proper
Yes.
hardcore. And like the thing that like the series does for me well is attempting to do at least. For me, I didn't feel a real emotional connection to the characters in the first book at least, right?
Okay.
And it can be very cold for me at least. Like it's very like sci-fi. This, you know, like we're talking at you about these are the
Concepts.
This is
and-
how it all works
Yeah.
and stuff. And like one thing that the series is doing is I've noticed that they've split up all the scientist characters are a combination of one or two characters in the book, right? So like they've split them up across several people because there's a character in the book, the main guy. He doesn't really, at least I don't know if comes back in the third book or whatever, but he's only in the first book. So
Okay.
that character split up across multiple scientists in the show. Those guys, all the friends. You
So
know what I mean?
they've made it more of an ensemble in the show.
Yeah, and
Sometimes
Oh.
sometimes that's needed in the way in which a book or text is translated into film, because sometimes, you know, you can get so much nuance when you are in the thought or in the mind of a character on a page, but you sometimes need that to be more physical, people.
more digestible.
Tangible.
Exactly. So like the whole vibe of that is like, you know, the book. I found the video game VR stuff a bit cheesy. Like,
Oh, in the series.
when they
and
put
the
on
book
the
as
when
well.
they put on the helmet.
yeah, like it always like felt like corny to me because also like I do a lot of this probably affected my opinion as well when I was reading it. But like sometimes when I drive to catch up on my reading, I do the audiobooks.
Yeah.
And I hated the narration of the book. This guy, like,
Oh, no, if there's a bad narrator.
so like it kind
I've
of
had that
made
experience.
those scenes a bit cheesy for me. So watching it again, I was just reminiscing the trauma he put me through in my
Yes.
car. But I mean, the follow-up book is phenomenal, and like the show towards the end starts taking material from the second book, which I think was a good move.
Okay.
And where it's heading, if the show goes anywhere near where the book is going, it's going to be really fucking cool.
Do you know what's a nice little gem that sort of unfortunately came and went is the film on Amazon called The Tomorrow War with Chris Pratt.
Oh, I
I never
saw
watched
that.
it because
Yeah.
of the title.
It's a lot better than you think.
Oh,
eh?
really?
Yeah.
Really?
And the basic premise is imagine the Super Bowl now, and all of a sudden this portal opens in the middle of the game, when the halftime game, and a soldier walks through this portal and says, "Guys, there's a war coming,
Yeah.
and we need you now. We need more buddies. We need more people to help."
Yeah.
And so people go into the future to fight a war. And Chris Pratt's there, and there's a little bit of an interstellarness.
Yeah,
to
for
it.
sure. Okay.
So
a lot better than...
It's a lot better than you think.
Okay, cool.
But Okies, we got to. I think we got to go home now.
Really?
Yeah,
Ah.
we've been talking a lot of good cack. Oh, I've got something I need to fetch from my car. Perrin,
Yeah?
you're the newbie.
Okay.
You got to help me. Okay,
All
can
right.
you help me carry?
Yes.
Cole, we're going to be about 10 minutes.
That's fine.
Can you man the shop?
I can man the shop, of course. I've worked here for 2 years.
Okay. All right. We'll see you now.
Cool.
Cheers.
Have fun. Oh my word, you're Sholto Copley.
Last time I checked, yeah, how's it?
How's it, Sholto? I assume you're here in the country to promote Boy Kills World, eh?
No, I'm actually with this friend of mine. I'm gonna rent out all my movies and just brag about like how many of my movies are actually still on DVD.
Hectic. Yeah, I don't know if we have DVDs It's like shifted more to
See,
Blu-ray.
this is what happens when you improv badly. You're trying to keep me on the Boy Girls world, and now I'm like spewing it down a different way. See, now you're also going down a different way.
Test me.
Now we're going to end up on our DVDs. We're going to make a great scene. It's not going to be in the edit because we diverted too much. What I should have said is, "Yeah, how's it, man? I'm here to promote Boy Girls world."
Oh, that's fantastic. And
Nice to meet you. What's your name?
my name is Cole.
Oh, nice to meet you, Cole.
Yeah, I've been working at the video store here for
Glad
2 years.
still
It's
video
been
stores
wonderful.
here.
Yeah.
I'm glad video stores still exist.
I don't know how
Reminds me of
we're
my-
still in business, to be honest.
I don't know how you're in business either, but the magic of the movies has you in business. So let's keep going with this.
Exactly. You got to keep making it happen. And talking about magic of movies, you just shot this film in Cape Town, right?
I did, yes.
Okay. And
Well, I did. I was one of like 300 people. We did, yeah.
fantastic. And I mean, I don't know a lot about the history in terms of all the nuances, the locations that you shot in, like recently in past films, but has it been a while since you've shot an essay?
Not really. I shot something for The Witcher last year.
Okay.
And then before that, I shot Beast. So I shoot here quite a lot. I shot that movie Beast with Idris Elba. I don't know if you have that on DVD.
Yeah, we have it
Looks
here.
like you do. Yeah, I'll sign it for you if you like. So I love shooting here. I shoot as often as I can, and they don't put me in here. I mean, none of those projects are South African stories. They're all just shooting here because they happen to be shooting here, and so I end up being in them and happen to be shooting here.
Right, it's just like a pure coincidence. Okay, lekker. When we get guests here, we like to try to find a movie for you to rent. Okay, usually we have a whole bunch of questions, but I think what I would like to know is what have you been watching recently? Is there anything on the shelf that like stands out to you as something that you'd like to rent again, like a favorite or anything like that more people should be watching?
Well, honestly, the only thing that I think more people should be watching is South Park, because they are basically the last people on earth that's still making material that has any kind of proper edge or human. Actually, that's not true. Curb Your Enthusiasm, not toot my own horn because I happen to be in the last season.
Oh, wow.
But Curb Your Enthusiasm as a TV show is actually also a show that can actually have a sense of humor about things. But other than those, like, you know, the sense of humor is really dying in our industry, and it's kind of depressing.
Like, it's actually, we watched The Fall Guy last night in a pre-screener, and we had quite a lot of fun, like, laughing at a movie again, because it felt like the comedies and the humor are a little bit dry lately. And luckily, you are talking to a South Park fan.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So then I will definitely go see Fall Guy, because it's been a dry spell for comedy. Everybody's terrified. You can't laugh at anything.
Right.
Everything's
And
offensive.
that's
Everybody's
kind of
upset.
that's a space you play in really well.
Yeah, and South Park's just going like they just gave them nearly $1 billion to keep making more, you know. So you're like, well, guys, I mean, clearly there's an audience and there's money, but somehow you can only do it if you grandfathered in. The other guys, there's one other show. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh,
They
fantastic.
still keep going. So Charlie Day is a good friend of mine, and they were able to do it, but they sort of grandfathered in South Park and them and Curb Your Enthusiasm. All come from, you know, over a decade ago, where you could still be funny and not be cancelled.
Right. So
know?
where's the new content that is that funny and is that daring, right?
I don't see it.
Yeah, we need to kind of retaliate against, I understand the culture, but like that's what makes South Park so much fun to watch, is that it's great satire, right?
You can't laugh. If you can't laugh at your pain and you take it so seriously and your ego is so, in your little bubble of what you think you are, you're going to be here for like a flash in the pan of eternity.
Right.
And it's like, I'm not feeling you're being hurt. It's like, guys, you've got to get a different perspective, man.
Totally.
We need to step back a little bit and not let these things take us over so much.
Exactly. I mean, we tend to get quite personal on the show, at least from our side. And I talk about my boyfriend quite a lot on the podcast. And we talk about how he's a bit of a lefty and I tease him a lot for it, for all the little nuances that we get into conversations about. And it's so cool to like engage in that kind of stuff more intellectually with him and seriously. But then I go watch South Park and I see them standing in the middle. I think they said this. They stand in the middle of the aisle, the political aisle, so to speak, and they point at both sides and laugh, right?
I mean, that's the problem. Is that even that now you're starting to get like Republican-funded movies and Democrat-funded movies. I'm like, guys, when did art get hijacked by like a camp that I'm supposed to be in.
No,
Like
totally.
I do characters, and I do interesting characters. I like adventure into art. Art is supposed to be like brave and a little bit unsettling to people, and like show people mirrors to themselves and to our society in various ways, and make people think and question and deal with tough things sometimes in its most profound way.
Yeah.
You know, and move you to start getting to a situation where it's like, are we making propaganda or are we making like art? Are we trying to,
Now, what's the truth of your story, man?
you know, I'm not interested. People try and get me into like a political box or something. I'm like, I'm not interested. I'm an artist. Like, I'm not going to join your
Yeah.
crusade of this or particular issue. And this is the thing. It's like humans are complicated and tragic and amazing
Yeah.
and beautiful and monstrous.
That's
you know,
fantastic.
and kind and compassionate, but evil. I mean, I've got this theory that all human problems are basically down to how we monkeys trying to be gods. I have a movie that I'm working on with that.
That's stunning.
And it's like we have monkey parts to ourselves that we don't really see very often. We have godlike parts to ourselves. And we're wrestling with that. We're trying
And
to
striving for it.
Yeah, we're striving for something. So the striving's great. But can we please not take humor out while we strive? I don't know.
No, I mean, what's the point of living if you can't laugh at yourself and at other people? We need to laugh at each other because we're all here doing the same thing, you know?
Yeah.
Your character in Boy Kills World, you were talking about, I think you said recently now in the interview that you enjoy the humor, you enjoy the fun, and it got me thinking of your character in the film as being someone as particularly humorous and like had a lot of the laughs in the movie that I quite enjoyed, and a big laugh actually. Which was really refreshing. Is that usually the kind of character that kind of attracts you? And also politically, that character is quite interesting, right? It's quite like careless, doesn't care a lot for human life. What compelled you about this character?
I mean, honestly, it was just a chance to get involved in a movie that was being funded by South Africans, which has never happened. The budget level of this movie, I'm not allowed to say, but it's proper Hollywood type of money.
Damn.
We've never had that in a South African budget.
Damn.
Ever. Like no South African company has ever put this much money in a movie, ever, as far as I'm aware.
That is incredible.
And so it's not a South African movie creatively. It's a Hollywood film. It's a generic city comic book style movie, video game style movie. But it was amazing to see that it was South African producers, South African money. I was very keen just on that basis alone. Then I was like, this is an entertaining character. It's not a massive character in the movie. It's like, just come in, do something fun for the audience and get out, come work a few days in Cape Town. I was like, I'm in, I'll come do that and support you guys. And it's obvious, I think I didn't think about it much. I was like, I love playing a range of different characters. I've been fortunate enough to do that. And I was like, this is definitely a guy who's kind of like your sleazy politician. I mean, to be honest, there's even an element of actors in the guy where, some people in Hollywood where it's like, I put on this face and I love everyone and, but the truth is more complicated. But then he's also a little bit more complicated as well,
Exactly.
He's kind of starts to talk about what his therapist told him and all of that's true. And humans are complicated again, So I think, he's very much a politician. And I'm not generally a fan of politicians, to be honest. But I do think, I'm sure a lot of them have good intentions and they're trying in difficult systems.
Yes.
But then their egos get involved and then this power gets involved and then money gets involved. And the difficulties of actually making any change in massive systems get involved. It's complicated, man. I think we shouldn't be so quick to judge everybody.
Yeah, and I think that's the problem with what we're talking about with modern kind of, I suppose, audience that is like, or it's the studios like pandering to that, but like being afraid of that, right? In the
South Park just did the Pandaverse. It was amazing. I was just like, you guys, I love you. Have you seen the Pandaverse?
I haven't seen the Pandaverse.
Oh my God. Go and watch the Pandaverse as soon as we get off this podcast.
Okay, stunning. I'm going to go for it. So I think we have to wrap up pretty soon because I know you have to talk to other people. So what we can do is we can rent you South Park. Maybe we don't have the Pandaverse here, but we can rent you South Park, Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and Curb Your Enthusiasm, which I haven't had a reason to watch up until now. So you're the person that's recommended that to me, which is really cool.
Yes.
I'm excited. And do you want to see if I should go dust off District 9 out there in the like see if it's on DVD there still.
Definitely see if you still got that Blu-ray, because the Blu-ray and the DVD have the behind the scenes on,
Okay.
which you can't get nowadays. You see, the behind the scenes is why you want to go.
It's always the best part of having DVDs, dude. Like, I'm not going to find that on YouTube. Like, I'm not going to think of searching for it. Exactly.
You're going to be searching. You're not going to see it on Netflix. You're not going to see the behind the scenes.
Damn it, man.
That's what I'm getting.
Exactly.
Real film love can keep coming to these shops. So
if I can, like,
going.
thank you. If I can, like, tempt one more little question, because it's one of my favorites to ask people. When you were younger, what was the film, as in a child, your first favorite film that you can think of? I know mine was The Lion King and a terrible Kung Fu Kangaroo movie, but I'm not going to get into that. What was yours when you were younger?
I saw two on the same day. My aunt took me to a cinema in Victoria, and I saw Superman 2 and The Gods Must Be Crazy. And it's amazing, actually, that I saw The Gods Must Be Crazy as one of my first movies. I can't remember which one was, whether it was Superman or Gods Must Be Crazy, in the cinema. Mixed up later when I spoke. I'd be like, Superman through the Coke bottle and da-da-da-da, because I was like 6 or 7 or whatever I was. And but it's kind of awesome. I've got a Gods Must Be Crazy poster in my house,
right,
in LA. And it was kind of amazing to make District 9, because since Gods Must Be Crazy, nothing had gone into the pop culture to that degree.
Right.
And District 9 came along.
That's such a good point.
That Americans knew about. You know, Gavin made Tsotsi, which was an amazing movie, but it didn't go quite into pop culture in the way, you know, from a box office point of view, that Gods Must Be Crazy did and District 9 did. And so it was crazy in that sense that it was the first movie I saw, you know, one of the first two.
That is really special. I didn't think of that. That is amazing. Yeah, because District 9 is the one, like, we also think of locally. And it's that little moment that, like, I can speak for most South Africans that I know, when we see your name in a poster and we're like, there's that guy. We're, like, super proud of him, you know? Yeah. So it's really great, Sholto.
You know, it was very special to, you know, to be able to do a film like that, like District 9, and be part of something that's that, just where the stars align for you.
Yeah.
Miraculous. So it really was just the fact that I could end up in the movie and that it worked. And yeah, just that it was a generation later than Morris Baez's, you know, Gods Must Be Crazy. And to be in that company was fun. It was an honor.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a cool badge for you to have, right? A little badge of honor.
Yeah.
And for us.
And it shows you how hard it is to do. It shows you how hard it is to be in a country where you'd make it. It's like the guys in Brazil made City of God, you know, that gets out there. There's the odd movie that can sort of, travel the world. But it's very hard to do if you try the English-speaking world. You know, if you're trying to go after that, and you're not part of that world, you're not a European English-speaking, country, not a European country, or not England, or somewhere in the UK or America.
Yes.
You know, so to get the attention of the world is not easy. Not an easy thing to do. You know, you're lucky when it works.
Well, Sholto, thank you so much for your time, and popping over to the video store. It was an incredible surprise to have you here. And yeah, all the best with your future, man. We're really proud of you.
Thanks very much. Can I just ask though, Bruce, sorry, I bought like 500 credits, but I've only used like 52. And I know this is kind of awkward.
Yeah.
But I don't, honestly, I'm like really connected in the industry and you know, because I'm Sholto Copley and all. I know you guys, your days are numbered. Would you mind refunding me, because I'm not going to be able to use all those credits?
I think, sorry, Sholto, the credits have expired, dude. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not the boss.
It just works that way.
Yeah, it just works that way.
Okay, that's no problem. I mean, that's fine. I understand. I mean, it's not. I feel it's a little dodgy, but it wasn't your fault that you're going to get taken out. So, thank you. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Sholto. All the best, man.
Okay.
Bye.
Yes. Bye.
All right, everything fine?
Guys.
What?
You guys were gone, and Sholto Copley was here.
You're
What?
lying.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, the District 9 guy.
The sweetie
Fucking-
man.
Fucking prawn.
That prawn.
Sholto Copley.
the sweetie
He came into the video.
Here comes a sweetie, man. Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, he came into the store.
No way.
What did he want?
He was here to like promote Comic-Con in Cape Town, and also the movie Boy Kills World. We spoke a little bit about that.
Oh my God, I can't
Yeah,
believe
Why
I
didn't
missed
you
it.
phone?
I can't believe
No,
you.
you were carrying stuff. I assumed your hands would be full. How are you going to answer your phone?
your hands before. Okay. Russell, are you going to just take this?
Yeah, no, it happens. Interesting, amazing people walk into the video store all the time. It just happened to happen while we were away. All right, guys. Thanks for a lovely day.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was fun.
And thank you for everyone who's listening. As you know, you are listening to a Tuesday episode, which is a Clerks episode where all of us here at the video store are chatting behind the counter. But don't forget that there is another episode that's going to come out this week, and it's going to be on Thursday, which is our guest episode where interesting people are going to pop in to rent something. And this week, we are going to have the filmmakers behind the film Just Now, Jeffrey, which is coming to cinemas, including the Bioscope, from the
Great.
3rd of May.
Okay.
So we're going to have Hilton Tannenbaum, who is a great director, and Brett Morris, who also has co-directed this with him. And it's a great, fun film. And it should be a great chat because these are dudes that have been in the industry for many years. So that's going to be on Thursday. All right, guys. I'll see you soon.
Great.
Cheers.
Cheerio.
Bye.